How's it going, everyone? My name is Chris from One More Game, and Dominaria United is just about to release, and I'm extremely excited for this set. Just with the amount of legendaries in this set, we now have an expanded commander format greater than I could have ever imagined. With each set comes so many cards that we're super excited to get when they drop. With my usual budget in mind, here are 10 cards that I find to be the best option to grab and build a deck with. As an honorable mention, I'm going to have to go with the all-new dual lands. Yeah, they do come into play tap, but guess what? They're commons, and they are fetchable lands. These are going to be a great asset to any commander deck, including my favorite format of Pauper. First in the list, we have Relic of Legends, a 3 generic artifact that taps for a mana of any one color, but you can tap an untapped legendary creature you control and add 1 mana of any color. This card can go into any commander deck, as your commander can now be tapped for mana of any color. It just gets even better when you have multiple legendaries on the battlefield too. A lot of consistent value right there. Similar to Clock of Almonds, this is just a solid pickup. Next up is Ellis Ilkor Sadistic Pilgrim. It is an Orzhov commander for a 2/2 Phyrexian Core Cleric with Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. And whenever another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. This is probably one of my top choices from the entire set to build around. I absolutely love Aristocrats, and this is the ultimate Aristocrat commander now. You both have the option of gaining a life and losing a life right from the command zone, and it's in Orzhov. This is a great stable to build around, and it's pauper legal. Guess what? You should pick this up. Following suit with Orzhov comes Rada-Drabic of Urborg. 2 white black for a 3/3 zombie wizard with Vigilance and Ward 2. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. And whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Pair this up with a Sack Owlet and a Anointed Procession, and you're off to the races of just straight pure value. Now, even without those, you have an insane option for double triggers right from the command zone. We all cannot forget the value Panharmonicon always brings to the table, and with Rada-Drabic, it just gets even better. Since we're talking about all this recursion, let's take a minute to remind you that hitting that subscribe button and notification button is the best way to be reminded of new videos and to return back for even more great content. Now there is Ravaz with the Claw. 1 black-red for a 3/3 Viashino Warlock with Menace. Tap to add 2 mana of any combination of colors to spend this mana only to cast dragon creatures. Once during each of your turns, you may cast a dragon creature from your graveyard, and when you do, it gains when this creature dies, you exile it instead. A mana dork for dragons, and it recurs dragons, all in a 3/3 body with Menace and 3 mana. This is a solid card, and I expect tons of people to build around this one. Now, since we were talking about recursions from the graveyard, let's figure out ways to get them in the graveyard. Next, we have Cut Down. It's a single block instant that destroys target creature with total power and toughness for 5 or less. Now, this may seem like not the best removal at first glance, but when you factor into how many creatures have total power and toughness less than 5, a single black mana removal is the perfected spot. 35 out of the top 50 creatures on EDH Rec are affected by this. Now, this makes a removal spell way more worth it. If you have some interest in the total power and toughness equal to 5, it's best to buff the entire team to make it just out of reach. Now we have Balmor Battle Mage Captain. Blue and a red for a 1/3 bird wizard with flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain trample until end of turn. This is an absolutely solid prowess-based commander that grants not only a buff, but trample to the entire team. On top of that, it's pauper eligible. You can guarantee that I'm going to be building just around that. Be prepared for that deck list in the future. To trigger prowess abilities, we need to make sure we have spells that are perfect. For that, we have Shore Up, a single blue mana instant where target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof until end of turn. The extra bit, it untaps it. This not only gets a small buff with hexproof, it untaps it. That gives great options for shenanigans and combos. Do not underestimate this card. Now, once you cast all your spells, you can easily cast the next one on this list, Tolarian Terror. 6 and a blue for a 5/5 serpent that costs 1 less for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard with Ward 2. This is Murktide Regent and Gurbag Angler for pauper. Best part is it's a reduction and not a delve ability. This is a solid inclusion into so many decks. Do not underestimate this card. Now, if we want to up the quality of land drops, we have Joint Exploration. It's 1 and a blue for an instant with kick or a green. Scry 2, then draw a card. If this spell was kicked, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. For 3 mana, we now have a lot of versatility that can help us not only figure out the top of the deck, draw a card, but also play a land on top of that. Great inclusion, especially for an instant ability. Now, to round out all the top cards of this video, we have the last card I'm super excited for with this new set, and that's Temporary Lockdown. 1 white for enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana value of 2 or less until temporary lockdown leaves the battlefield. I think this is probably the best card to round this list out. So many staples in Commander have a mana value of 2 or less. This is an absolute perfect way to slow the entire board state down with a single spell at only 3 mana. I expect this card to have some serious high play in so many decks that are running white. So that is my 10 cards that I'm super excited for from Dominaria United, and I will be grabbing every single one of them the second I can. Are you as excited as I am? What cards are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to hit that bell notification and subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss out on any great content. My name is Chris, and one more game, remember, one more game is just never enough. Peace.